Oh, yeah, right.
Member Lawson.
Good morning, everybody. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The prayer today is, O God of creation, you have blessed us with the changing of the seasons. Remind us of the wonder of your creation. Remind us that it is you who give us the breath of life. Amen. Linda, want to start us off?
Yes, sir. On March 6th, I approved a supplemental appropriation to correct appropriations in the demo and site revitalization fund in order to release a payment to a vendor. On March 10th, I approved a revision to the hiring of Christopher Mackar to the position of full-time recreation and education assistant, number 1005, to be effective March 17th, 2025, previously March 24, 2025, at the rate of $19.23 per hour with a one-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, item number 3, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of March 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Hey.
Commissioner Clayton.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Adrian Gorton, Commissioner's Office. So today's financials include a supplemental appropriations from the Commissioners to the Veterans Commission in their grave markers expense account for the Courthouse Veterans Memorial Renovation Project. Michelle Pemberton has indicated that she would like to start that project after this year's Maple Festival. And this is the one towards the end of last year that you guys allowed them to use some of their unappropriated or unused monies from last year for this renovation. There's a cash transfer from the general fund to community development for their fourth quarter 2024 payroll funding reimbursement. There's a transfer from the Board of DD from their operating fund to the residential services fund for Medicaid waiver and locally funded services. And there's transfers from water resources, sewer and water funds to debt retirement for their first half 2025 debt service payments. There's then and nows from emergency services to Inspiron Logistics LLC for the annual WENS emergency notification system service agreement, which has not been previously encumbered. Among the vouchers is $799,702.55 from the Commissioner's Office to Infinity Construction Company for pay request number 17 of the courthouse expansion project, and $753,858.77 from Community Development to ICT Geauga Lake LLC for the fourth and final draw on the demolition project in the Geauga Lake District being paid for by a demo grant received from the state. And finally, there's a revenue certification from the Common Pleas Court in their drug court fund for additional unbudgeted state grant money that has been received in 2025.
Make a motion to approve the financials for March 11th, 2025.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Clayton.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Item number 5, The Commissioner's Office requesting the board approve and execute resolution recognizing recognition from March 16th to the 22nd, 2025 National Agricultural Week. You have the floor.
Do you guys want to come up?
Yes. The one on the left. Just take this.
How are you? Good, good. I guess we're here on behalf of the Geauga County Farm Bureau, just representing the farmers in the county, and want to thank the commissioners for recognizing the significance of the agricultural industry in the county and what we provide for the residents.
Very good. Yeah, it's an important part of this county, no doubt.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 5.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Thank
Commissioner Ward.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you.
Any big projects planned or?
Nothing that we can talk about yet.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I think is going to be a big plus is last year, we were able to get some of that money over to the Fair Board to have an additional auction area and, for the fountain and stuff. So that should be a big plus and, try to continue to keep it agriculture and 4-H and all those projects motivated. So, yeah.
That will make a huge difference at the fairgrounds. I think.
So, yeah.
It'd be very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, very good. Well, thank you for all you do.
All right.
Yep. Have a great day, guys.
Thank
Yep.
And he says that resolution. You can give it to him. You want your resolution?
Yeah.
At the meeting today, when I was there at 7:30 for the planning commission, there's a new program that we're going to start, farmland preservation. And they're going to be reaching out to you for Farm Bureau input, and maybe 1 or 2 people on the 8-person committee.
We saw
Thank you so much.
last week at the emergency planning. Can we get a picture?
Sure.
Over here.
Yeah. You want to take this to you? Usually we're over here.
Yeah. Stick it out.
That's fine, 'cause that's always important, right?
Good. Thank you.
Number 6.
Good morning,
Morning.
Shane Dujard, Deputy with the County Engineer's Office. Item number 6, County Engineer's Office requesting the board approve and execute the title sheet, the plans for the asphalt resurfacing of Wilson Mills Road, County Highway 0008, sections G through L in Munson Township.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
What's that? Thank you.
Yeah. Something to sign for him.
For.
Jane.
Good morning.
Morning, Gina.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Gina Hofstadter, Community and Economic Development. And I have item number 7 today, which is Community and Economic Development Department is requesting the board acknowledge receipt of the statement of qualifications for architects and engineering firms to be considered for the projects by the departments under the Commissioner's hiring authority and remain on file for 1 year through March 11th, 2026. Including architects are Byron D. Myers Architect LLC, GPD Group LDA, Architects Technical Assurance, Then Design Architecture TDA, and Verdantis and Engineers. Barrington Consulting Group Incorporated, Buckley Group, doing business as Hess and Associates Engineering Incorporated, GPD Group, SME Smolin Engineering, TEC Tech Incorporated Engineering and Design, and Technical Assurance Verdantis.
Gina, how do you get on the list?
Oh, well. So typically, somewhere around January, we will send out a solicitation for the request for qualifications. I think we're up to about 40. We try to add to it every year. You'll get 2 or 3 back that maybe are either out of business or moved or something along those lines. Most recently, as of last year, we did allow people to send us back their qualifications digitally, which really helped get some
Yeah.
more on file. It's been a challenge. It really has. Working with the maintenance department, we are going to possibly make some changes next year to maybe broaden it out and do some paid advertising, just to kind of reach a larger audience on these qualifications. But yeah, we're pretty happy. I think we ended up with 2 more than we received, 2 or 3 more from last year.
Okay, great. I'll make a motion to approve 7.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thanks.
Morning.
Good morning.
Matt Saraki, Maintenance Department. I have 8 and 9 today. So the first one is for the batteries for the UPS systems at 470 in the annex. UPS being uninterruptible power supply. So the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the contract agreement with E-Technologies Incorporated to upgrade the batteries of the UPS units located at the Geauga County Courthouse Annex and 470 Center Street offices, with work to be completed within 90 days of execution, effective March 11th, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $15,042.
And is this for a server backup? Is that what it's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And is there a generator then as well? And
Not at 470.
okay, so it's just the UPS for the server.
Right.
Got it. All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner Wall.
Yes.
Thank you. And then number 9, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the contract agreement with Geauga Door Sales and Service Incorporated to install garage doors at various county locations, including 470 Center Street, Buildings 7 and 8, and the West Geauga Senior Center, with work to be completed within 90 days of execution, effective March 11th, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $19,750.
So can you talk about the ones at 470? I mean, because my concern is just putting extra money into those buildings, which obviously we're not going to have
Right.
long term. So can you talk about those projects? Like what sort of state are those doors in?
Very, very rough
Yeah.
shape. Building 8 is archives. We don't use that one much, but it is like a safety hazard, just about. Building 7 we use daily, and that's getting towards the end of its life. But the majority of this $19,750 is at West Geauga.
Okay, that was my next question. How they were divvied up?
Yeah,
Those 2 properties.
I want to say 3/4 of it is West Geauga. They're bigger doors. There's more of them.
Okay.
There's more work involved in getting those installed. So
Okay, so you feel like at this point, it's really the 470 ones are a safety
yeah,
and security
Potentially,
issue
yeah.
if we don't fix those.
Right.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve 9.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner Wall.
Yes.
thank you very much.
Morning.
Morning. Nick Goris, Water Resources. Item 10 on the agenda is, this is the formal request to award the bid to Shook Construction for the McFarland Creek wastewater treatment plant improvement project. Original tentative action was on January 14th. The amount is $30,824,400 even. Just to note, on the original action on the 14th, we had 24,000, we had 42,000, it should have been 24. So the corrected number is noted here. So if there is a question,
It sounds like you saved us money, Nick. That's what I heard.
there you go.
Yeah,
I'll take that one. So, the loan was actually, we were pending the tentative award because we were waiting on the loan approval, which was awarded or approved on February 27th.
very good. I'll make a motion to approve 10.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner Wall.
Yes.
Item 11 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with Go Green Heating, Air Conditioning, doing business as Auburn Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, to perform HVAC and plumbing maintenance services at various locations throughout our facilities in the county.
I'll make a motion to approve 11.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Item 12 is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with Lake Business Products to perform copier maintenance and printer maintenance at various locations within the department effective March 11, 2025. For the period, and the amount is 35,000, 10,000 to cover through August 24. So there's going to be a then and now on this, as we were going back and forth with our salesperson. They just couldn't get things right with us with the legal agreement, so we finally got it. So there's going to be a period where we're going to go backwards on this, and then the rest will cover the rest of this year. So.
And have you done quotes from different companies? I think,
So we are actually working with ADP right now. We have a request in to
Okay.
actually start looking at like the DEX products.
well, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna ask. Yeah, because I see that on the financials, that Dex imaging, and I
Right.
wonder if there's maybe some economy of scale that can be done.
Right. So
If you
that
look-
was, we have that, our last quarterly update, and then recently, as early as Saturday morning, I sent some information over to ADP
Okay,
to get them the information on the copiers, because we run copiers. We have 5 copiers, throughout, plus a
mhm.
whole bunch of printers. So we're looking at, getting out from underneath this Lake business, which was an agreement that had started. We purchased the equipment 6 years ago. So some of even our equipment's getting into that end
Yeah,
of life. So
right,
we
right.
started that conversation to review our options.
Okay, well, that sounds good. So you're thinking you'll do this 1-year agreement, and then next year we'll see something about
And
another.
hopefully, we'll have that in front of you before the end of this year.
Okay,
So
very
that
good.
we won't have this then and now
Yeah,
scenario going on. in
that sounds better.
2026.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve 12.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's
Item 13, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Michael Davitt, acting chief building official, effective immediately and remaining until the chief building official position is filled.
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
We have 11 minutes before the hearing, so we can skip.
Want to just keep going?
Yeah, let's keep
Skip
plowing
14
through.
and continue down.
Let's go to item 15.
Okay.
Who wants to read that?
Nobody.
15, 16.
Don't ask who wants to do it.
15, 16, and 17 are all related to each other. So the first one is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board acknowledge the submittal of resolution 2025-03 dated February 11, 2025 from the Munson Township Board of Trustees petitioning the Geauga County Board of Commissioners to vacate the easement upon all of Sand Hill Trail pursuant to section 5553.045 of the revised code, and also acknowledge the resolution was withdrawn by the township via communication from the fiscal officer on February 21st, 2025 due to technical defects. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then number 16 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board of Management receive a resolution 2025-06 received on March 3rd, 2025, petitioning the Geauga County Board of Commissioners to vacate the easement upon all of Sand Hill Trail pursuant to section 5553.045 of the revised code.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then number 17, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 25-038 that convenience and welfare may require the proposed vacation of the public right-of-way upon Sand Hill Trail TR 0753 in Munson Township, Geauga County, Ohio, pursuant to section 5553.045 of the revised code, and further set a public hearing on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 9:45 a.m. Notice of the public hearing will be advertised on March 20th, 2025, March 27th, 2025, and on the county website.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
18, 19, and 20 are also all related to each other. The first is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board acknowledge the submittal of a petition for annexation expedited between the Village of Middlefield Township, and Lake Avenue Land Partners Limited on February 25th, 2025 for permanent parcel number 18054810 or 64.71 acres to be annexed into the village of Middlefield pursuant to ORC 709.021 and 709.022. And also acknowledge that the petition was withdrawn by the Village of Middlefield via communication from the Administrator Economic Development Director on February 26, 2025 due to a technical defect.
You were catching all those defects, weren't you, Christie?
There was several issues with both of them, so.
I'll make a motion to approve 18.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board acknowledge receipt of a second submittal of a petition for annexation expedited between the Village of Middlefield Township, and Lake Avenue Land Partners Limited for permanent parcel number 18054810 for 64.71 acres to be annexed into the Village of Middlefield pursuant to ORC 709.021 and 709.022.
I move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
And then because this is an expedited annexation agreement, according to the ORC, the next item is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25039 to grant the petition of Lake Avenue Land Partners Limited for the annexation of permanent parcel 18054810 for 64.71 acres currently located in Middlefield Township to the Village of Middlefield, Geauga County, Ohio, pursuant to ORC 709.021 and 709.022.
I move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes.
We still have 7 minutes.
Ripping through. Let's go.
That was 19.
That was number 20.
20.
So number
21.
21. This is the,
You're gonna get a hoarse voice by then.
It will be better next year. I know it will.
we're gonna have to do number 4 next week, just so y'all know.
Oh, how many? Okay.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-040 for the third amended resolution approving the use of county credit cards for the year 2025 for additional users, employees, for agencies in the Commissioner's Office, for the Department on Aging, for their Centera, Marks, Glassman, and PNC Giant Eagle, and Common Police Court Visa. This is just to add additional employees for use.
So I'll move to approve 21.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes.
And then number 22 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the application for the use of county credit cards form, adding the additional users, employees for the Department on Aging and the Common Police.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes.
Then one more is these are just you. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the certification request to County Auditor request to the Board of Commissioners for the quarterly use of county credit cards pursuant to ORC 301.27 for the year 2025 for Job and Family Services, updating quarters 1 and 2 for the Job and Credit Union Visa.
Do we know what advertising JFS is doing? I don't think, no one's here from JFS. I just saw that's what the statement said, that's for advertising.
I'm going to guess that it's the majority of the advertising that they would be doing would be for employment purposes.
Oh, that makes sense. I'll make a motion to approve. 23.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes.
We have time for number 24.
Sure do.
Got 5
Got
minutes.
5 minutes.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute contract maintenance form number 1, increasing and extending the contract with MVC LLC DBA Multi Vista for photographic documentation of the Geauga County Courthouse expansion project, extending the contract 365 days, 1 year, through April 28, 2026, or until the project completion, and increasing the contract $8,784 for 12 months, billed at $732 a month, for a new total contract amount of $25,509.
Um,
This is they're photographing the entire construction as it goes on so that you have a record of where the wires are in the wall, where the pipes are in the wall. Is that a pretty good description, Lee, of what they're doing?
Yes.
Just so that,
Very helpful.
you know, when somebody wants to hang something on the wall, we're not putting a nail through a.
right. Well, I assume there's a liability issue, correct, as well, just to make sure that they're doing what they're saying they're doing, or is that not part of it?
It's the best way of keeping a record of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's forever there. It's easy to go look back at. You forgot something or, you know,
How often are they coming to photograph?
courthouse come out about once a month.
Okay. And I mean, I see the company's based out of the Columbus area. Is that where they're coming from? Columbus?
Sure.
Okay. And when is the projected completion of the courthouse project?
December.
Oh, so it's December of this year? Okay, so then I don't want to approve this till April 2026. I think we should cut it off.
Well, it is cut off because it says until
Well,
project completion.
Yeah, but I mean, that gives them a little more leeway than I'm comfortable with. Personally, I'd rather, do this for 6 months or a little tighter window.
I can't change a contract at the table. Or do you want us to pull it?
The current contract goes through April 28th of 25. The current one, so the extension goes through April.
I just,
26th.
my personal experience with these sort of like repeating contracts is they're more likely to keep charging us than if we had a 6 months deal.
So this contract is for 6 more weeks.
Yes,
So we
the
could-
current one does not expire until April 20.
Oh, I see what you're
So we
saying.
could table
So
it
we could
So you
table
could
it.
table
and
it.
then add or subtract in the contract language.
Do you have an opinion on this, Commissioner Spitaleri?
No. You're putting drywall over it. I mean, I think that's, if they're only coming out one time a month, I really don't think that we're getting the full aspect of what that
Yeah,
service really should be, and I don't know if it is once a month or
yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, what's the
Yeah.
hourly rate? Like, are they coming out for 1 hour or is it, you know what I mean? And I mean, they're not editing these photos like you would with like a
Right.
family photo shoot or whatever.
I'm not sure. I mean, I think that is a concern for that service and it's fairly healthy price to be paying for a road trip once a month to come in and photograph stuff. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm not a building, builder, but I think that you can probably close up a lot of areas in a month's time.
Lee, you have a response?
Well, the contractor has daily photos and we, as the architects, come out with weekly photos. We are tracking what's happening, like you say, in a month's time. They're coming out and just doing a one-time shoot of all the rooms and then they, that's a record of what happened in that month.
So this is the third photo that's being done. So there's three different companies doing photos every,
But as architects, we're responsible for letting you view the site. So we take photos all the time. The contractor who's building always takes photos just of what they're building daily. They have a daily reports and they put photos in their daily reports.
So this sounds more ceremonial than it sounds like as far as like need for, for what we're really looking for is if the contractor is doing that in that scope of what they're taking photographs of and you guys are taking photos, why do we really need these people?
Well, this Multi-Vista, so the company, they will go into every single room and they shoot a 360 of that room. And then you can search, by date of what it looked like on that one, but they do every single room. I mean, the contractor does not do every single room.
I mean,
And it's like a third party too. It's like a third party that's documenting it.
I don't know, but I guess to be totally honest with you, the difference is that's maybe great as far as, that would make really neat video of start to finish, it's like somebody's putting a camera up and speed sensing it from when the sun rose and sun set on over a lakefront. That may be what would be nice about that. But as far as the documentation of actual work, of actual wiring and, the nuts and bolts of the building, I don't know if that's really the goal of this, right? I don't know. It just troubles me that if we're filming, I mean, in this, listen, there's no secrets. This job has totally gone off the rails as far as add-ons and add-ons and add-ons and more add-ons, and then now we're, and it's like, I don't know, $24,000 to take some pictures of some progress that's already being done. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it seems like
Vote on it.
belts and suspenders approach.
If I may add something, I'm by far not the best person to talk about this, but I have been around a few of the conversations that where this has been discussed. The idea is that this company categorizes all the photographs, if I'm understanding correctly, to where you can search them up by room at your fingertips. If you should ever want to, say, hang a picture or install something, and it prevents you from, tacking into a live wire or hitting a pipe and causing additional damage, which down the road could be catastrophic.
And
But,
I'm
like,
okay with that.
But like, who's gonna do that? Like, people are just gonna put the picture on the wall. They're not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go search for this photo in this
What's
huge
in the computer
database.
database,
I
so
mean,
it's easily searchable when.
I just don't see the average employee doing that.
I assume maintenance will have access to this. I don't know all there is to know. I only know a little bit, which is dangerous, but this is what I'm being told, that this is what new government buildings have in order to prevent, damage down the road from, say, subsequent construction, or if you need to move something, or if you need to install something. They'll have all this at their fingertips and they can.
So I think you said the key word there, government, and that usually is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I think that the reality is that if they're here today and in 30 days, there could be a lot going on in one room of, wiring, pipes, whatever the case may be, and drywall hung, that when you come back for your picture, it's a finished room. Today it's a shell. So I don't know. I don't know enough of it to sit here and argue about it, but it just, the sound of it in 30 days, when somebody tells me that.
And we'll take a deep dive and bring back to you more information to where you can feel comfortable one way or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the thing I'm thinking about too is like at a certain point, the drywall goes up, right? So then they're putting in, the flooring and the finishing touches. And like, do we need a photo every 30 days when they're putting in tile or millwork or whatever? I wouldn't think so. I would think that whatever the architect and so forth are doing is probably sufficient.
Okay, call for this vote.
I have a motion in a second. I have Commissioner Spitaler's,
Oh,
Commissioner Brady,
aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go back to item 14. Commissioner's office will hold a public hearing at 10:04 regarding reemployment of retiree Dan Spada as chief building official.
I have a motion to waive the reading of the legal minutes.
Well,
Second.
Commissioner Spitaler.
I-
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Okay, so we are opening at 10:04. And then we just have to swear in anyone that wishes to speak.
Okay. Does anyone wish to speak?
Question.
Comments or questions on this item?
Well, hold on, I got it.
You
Of
go.
course. I've got questions.
By chance, I have a question.
Yeah. So this arrangement, is this gonna cost the county more money, less money, or the same money after we rehire? As before the retirement?
I would assume the salary is going to be the same.
Who decides that?
That was discussed earlier this year when this first came up in executive session.
Okay. So the salary would be the same, but what about other benefits?
I don't think, do you qualify for benefits once he's retired?
Well, that's my question.
Of course.
Yeah, of course he does. Because once he's hired under a public entity, you have to,
Then it would be about
Yeah.
the same, I would assume, as what it was.
But I didn't know if you required, I mean, I don't know how health insurance changes if you're under like a retirement health insurance or how any of that works. I'm new to government.
so under the new law with the retirement, if you're retired, and you go back to public service, then your stipend is no longer available through PRS. So you would need to have, I mean, the whole conversation piece with this from the time that Dan had started to talk about this is that he would basically be coming back, fully, insured again and with the salary.
So, okay. So his benefits would stay the same.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, final question is just how long is he planning to stay in this position? And then what's the plan after? Because I assume, the point of the rehire is we can't find somebody else to fill that position. So what's the long-term plan?
I'm not sure you get to ask that of an employee. He comes back, he works until he wants to not work anymore, pretty much.
I think the whole realm of this is, we've always had, seeking building inspectors for this county. And, by Dan staying on, it's really helping us because it's hard to find a building inspector that does electrical framing, footers, and a whole array of things, where if you go into a, city, there's an inspector just for the electrical, just for this, just for that. So it's a unique, item out here in Geauga County. So we've always been, one person short, right, Dan?
Yeah, so Dan Spada, so, I mean, we tried to do.
You gotta be sworn in.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear to testify truthfully in the matter under perjury or penalty of perjury?
So we tried to do, through the last couple of years here, we've tried some succession plans of individuals to take
Yeah.
over my position as a building official when I retired on January 31st. We've had, I think, 3 candidates in that position. 2 of them have left to seek other opportunities elsewhere for higher pay. We've hired Mike in as the assistant. He's been here for a year and a half, about. There was discussion about Mike taking the position. Felt there was a little bit more training and a little bit more knowledge that he wants to get of the position before taking that over. So that was the discussion that I had then about coming back, step back into this position. We've had discussions, whether it's a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, I'm not sure. He said I'd like to get to enjoy retirement someday. But at the same time, I enjoy working.
Listen, Linda, we don't want to hear stuff.
So that's, it also depends on where we're at, with staffing levels.
Yeah, I guess that's what my question is like, how are you going to figure out with that? How are you going to have a staffing that's sufficient? And
So
is there a
we're
plan?
just-
But it sounds like you're working on it,
Yeah,
right?
we were fortunate just to hire another inspector. So we're back to a level that we were a couple years ago. Obviously, the county is still, moving forward with a lot of development and building projects. So they're staying busy. It's hopefully sooner than later, somebody takes the building official position. Yeah, we're working on a succession then.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't have anything else.
I guess, just for me to add to this is that, I've been involved with, through 2 different building, commissioners over the last 13 years. And it's been a major challenge all the time to find somebody that has your qualifications, Dan, and to be able to have that. And I think what people sometimes fail to realize is, like, in the county of Geauga, our building department handles they handle city of Chardon, all the townships, all the villages, other than South Russell. And so we're burdened pretty much with the entire county as far as handling that. In addition to that, we have a fee structure, the permits and everything that is more than covered what that department's salary is. So as far as salaries go, the permits alone, and it's not that the permits are at an absorbent amount that if anything, we're probably less than most other municipalities and counties around us. So, we've got, super proud of our building department and the people that we've got, but there's no doubt about it. We're tasked heavy. And with, just like today, we just are moving to do another annexation for another building project in Middlefield, which is going to be multiple units with multiple inspections and multiple permitting processes and reviews. So at the end of the day, Dan, 3 years, 4 years younger. So I'm wondering if this is what you wanna, since you've been gone, but, I respect the fact that you wanna come back and do this, cause you know, you've been definitely missed and you'll, you know, you bring a lot of value to this organization and I thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I still feel I have some fun left in me to do this. Obviously, when you're tasked to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the general public, once it's in you, it's kind of in you. Sure. There's plenty of opportunities out there. Obviously, I live out here. You know, my family visits every structure we inspect. You know, so there's some comfortability with that, knowing that my guys, we did that right. You know, so obviously there's some pride in wanting to work where you live as well. So that's the purpose of wanting to come back here as opposed to seeking employment elsewhere right now.
Thanks. Any other comments? I close the hearing.
10-12.
10:12.
We're back to the 25.
25. You want to read that?
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 25-041, reappointing Commissioner James W. Dvorak, Region 13 Representative Member to the One Ohio Governance Board for a 3-year term, March 29, 2025 through March 29, 2028.
Move to approve.
Second,
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
so I've got a question. So as far as with the motion to, with Dan, then is this something that we would take action on next week to officiate it, or what's the process?
The prosecutor's office changed the process from what typically had been done in the past on any one of these. And now you cannot take action until April 1st.
Okay,
So we have to wait until April 1st, and at that point, then you can take action, and then you can reappoint him apparently effective that day.
okay.
So it's a little different.
Okay, we're down to item 26.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-042 honoring Ellie Rashuba from Junior Girl Scout Troop 71326 for achieving the Bronze Award, the highest honor for a Junior Girl Scout. You did the rest of the troop last year.
Yes.
She's a new member to this troop this year, and they did the same project again for the Job and Family Services Sponsor a Family Program. They did the seniors for Geauga County again in December. And I think they actually ended up doing over 40 bags this year for the seniors.
I thought that was a nice project.
So,
I'll make a motion to approve 26.
Second,
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Before we do more discussion, I have a brief add-on. The Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve the placement of Kim Montori on paid administrative leave during the period of March 9th, 2025 through March 13th, 2025.
What was the period?
March 9th to March 13th.
So it's 11th. So she's already on paid administrative?
Yes, retroactive to the 9th. This was language given to us by the prosecutor's office.
I'll make the motion.
second,
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
No.
Commissioner DeWort.
Okay,
So Christie's gonna, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Yes, Christie's gonna talk to you about the first item and then I will talk to you about the second one.
I emailed all of you about a week or so ago about a request that I received from Roger Peterson from DES regarding wanting to have a work session discussion with all of you regarding special county teams that they have that include the dive team, fire investigation, hazmat, their drone team, and he wants to just go over all of you with all of you about how they are organized and how they are funded and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking to do this work session outside of a regular meeting, just based on how large our regular sessions have been.
Okay.
So I'm looking to see if you're available for next Tuesday, approximately maybe 11:30, to have this discussion,
Next Tuesday?
the 18th.
I'm good.
So it'd be after regular session.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you'd have your regular meeting and then we would close it out and then we would have the work session starting at approximately 8:30.
Are you gonna bring sandwiches?
I don't know, but, Mr. Gasper is also coming with Roger from Charter Party.
But
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm good. I'm good with next week, 11:30.
Okay, so, it would be a motion to schedule a work session for Tuesday, 3/18 at 11:30 a.m.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Okay.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
We have some folks here today to talk with you about the change order that we have brought to you a couple of times and you had questions about. We have Lee from the architect, we have Randy representing the courthouse, and we have Jarrett Parker, who is our representative from MV5. You have in front of you information that was sent to us by Jarrett to give a deeper explanation of the different items contained in this change order. And then I've also given you a copy of the original one that has, a lot of detail. So I guess this is your opportunity to get your questions answered about this change order. As you know, it is an aggregation of a number of different items pertaining to millwork, podiums, countertops, data drops, intercom systems. A big chunk of it has to do with the security gate to the secure parking behind the courthouse. So I guess, do you want them to come up and talk with you?
Yes,
Come on up,
please.
gentlemen.
Good morning.
State your name, please.
Jarrett Parker.
Lee Rebar. That is,
And Randy Hall from the courthouse.
I want to mention one thing before we start. Last July, when they came in front of commissioners with a change order for the data drops. Yes. That was purely for the data drops. It was nothing, we knew that some electrical outlets would need to be added because of that. We knew we had to take out casework with that. The contractor, Infinity, made a decision to just try to get that in front of you with just the data drops. And we're going to separate out the other little things that we're talking about at the time. So when we put out the second bulletin, it got more and more confused that there were data drops in this bulletin. There really is not. Those were in that first bulletin.
Okay. So the quantity of data drops that's in this change order request is only 2. And that is item number 4. So kind of to have an overview of what I've got here for the change order request number 16 breakdown. There's 7 items listed there on that sheet. And what that is, if you go to Infinity's change order request number 16 on the notes section, it breaks out the millwork, the monitor brackets, the intercoms, the TV and electrical power revisions, exterior gate and wall revisions. These 7 items is what I've broken out for each of those bullet point items. And so it kind of just gives you a summary of what that cost is and where it transpired, where that addition came from. So for instance, on the first one for the millwork revisions and 2 additional courtroom podiums, rough cost is $14,902. So this was a request by the judges for modifications to the millwork to accommodate some copier and printers at some of the offices. This was all via an email chain that we have on record from May 15, 2024 to June 26, 2024. This was mainly between Delta, which is the court IT, the judges, TDA, which is Lee and Brad, and MV5, which was Brandon Pasella at the time working on the project.
Why is this so high for the millwork? That seems like a lot of money to me for just millwork changes.
Yes. So in the change order request, if you go to the sheet that says NRC incorporated at the top, this is where the $14,902 is coming from. There is some deletions of plastic laminate cubbies and countertops and some lockers.
But there's also the addition of the solid surface countertops in lieu of the plastic laminate countertops. So the countertop changes is where some of your cost increases is coming from,
And-
as well as the two podiums.
And by solid surface, what does that mean? Wood or what does that mean?
The solid surface is that countertop on, you see on top here,
This.
not plastic laminate, but
Okay, so this
solid
is like quartz or something like
Yeah.
that?
more durable.
And why do we make that change?
Somehow that was done during the submittal process to change it or to let NRC know that it was solid surface, not plastic laminate. And then also part of that change order too, or from them was the podiums were supposed to be in the furniture package like that one, but then they determined it'd be better to give this millwork contractor the podiums and put them in the millwork so that it wouldn't be furniture. That way it would match match all the millwork. That was another change that just made sense. Either way, it was going to be bought as a podium.
So then do we have an offset on the other side?
Seems like it.
In the furniture package?
Right.
So since this was so early on as a change, it was never included in the furniture packages drawing set. So whenever they received the drawings from myself, they never would have priced it to begin with because it wasn't in that package. It was already eliminated.
Had it been, and it would have been an add-on either way. Because the furniture is not included in the 20 million for the project.
Have you guys gotten any estimates of what furniture is gonna end up costing?
Yes, we have. We have dwindled it down to one vendor to select and move forward with. Right now, that number is sitting at about, I want to say it's $601,000.
Are they using anything from the old courthouse?
There is going to be some things used such as like the judge's desks, some chairs, some other tables are going to be moved over as well.
But can you say that, what did you say the furniture cost was? $601,000?
$601,000, correct. And that does include also there's a high density shelving, which is a pretty good sized chunk. That's going to be included in that package as well.
Okay.
Right now, that cost is about $35,000.
And that's included in the 601?
Correct.
Okay. Can we go through them, this
Yes.
sheet?
Yes, so number 2, installing the monitor brackets. So this originally was going to be a county responsibility. We felt that it was going to be better ease of access for Infinity to just pick up this scope of work and install the TV monitors themselves. That way they would either install it to the blocking behind the wall, the studs behind the wall, and also align it properly with the power outlets, HDMI cables, internet hookups, things of that nature. So essentially the idea is to have Infinity install those brackets, and then the county would come in behind and just hang those TVs right on those mounting brackets. So again, that is another cost that would have been included by the county to begin with. We're essentially just transferring that scope of work to the contractor instead. Intercom system, number 3, intercom systems for second and third floor interview rooms. So this was an item that was added during a drawing review and a field review. This was between TDA and the general contractor. Lee, you might be able to expand on this a little bit more.
Yeah, between the interview room and the holding cell, there's glass, and the one option is just talk through the glass in a hole. When we were looking at, he was building the CMU walls at the time, the contractor said, how about he just puts in some junction boxes just in case we want an intercom. So we went out and just asked our technology consultant to give us an idea of what that would be. That went into the bulletin. They gave us a price on it. That's all it is right now, is a price to do that. But we made sure that if we wanted to do it, it's already in the walls.
So we don't really know if we want to do that.
Well, this is called a change order request, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Not a change order.
Right. So currently, there's only been 4 change orders on the courthouse. This is just request number 16.
Correct. I mean, I think at least that intercom and probably the next one too, we need to have ADP approval on those.
We're working on that.
Okay, so I don't think we can just approve those.
And then if you want me to go on to number 4
Yes,
here,
please.
the TV data drops and TV mounts. So TV data drops, there's only 2 of them in this change order request, and that's about $700 of the numbers. And then there's the TV mounts. So the TV mounts themselves, again, we're going to need to be purchased. These are going to be purchased by their IT subcontractor. And then item A here kind of describes the 2 TV data drops that are being added in. So it was discussed to have display monitors added into the lobby and then the probation office, which is, I believe, Nicole's office.
So on that ADP thing, though, isn't the court under their own IT?
With Velta's group.
Yeah, I mean, are they participant of our ADP on that? Do they need the ADP approval?
It's my understanding that anything that it connects to the network has to have approval from the ADP board. And we're working on that. But it's also my understanding that a staff member from ADP has been involved from the beginning in terms of the speccing of things and what have you. So we're working on that.
I could mention it's also court IT's policy to coordinate with ADP and to follow their recommendations when involving IT issues.
Because are you guys on the county network at the courthouse?
Yes.
And then number 5 is somewhat connected to item number 4. If you go back to Infinity's change order request, the electrical power revisions, and this also goes into Lee's comment to begin with when he was talking about the previous data drops that were added in. These are now those receptacles that are being added in. So this is for power that's added for new printers that were added in from the previous data drop change order. Each receptacle does need its own dedicated circuit and added receptacle for a new data rack. The data rack was added due to Beancourts, which is a subcontractor to Infinity. Beancourts equipment was not able to fit into the 2 racks that were already supplied for the project, and an extra one was needed for the space. This also had a receptacle added in the probation office as well. So each of these power outlets, again, preface, they needed their own dedicated circuit. So they needed their own breaker, their own wiring, and their own outlet themselves.
Okay.
It wasn't something that could just be daisy chained together. They needed to be on their own dedication. Number 6, the exterior gate conduit for the card reader and intercom at entrance to the security gate. So this is, as Linda said previously, this is a larger chunk of the change order request, roughly about $16,700. This was requested by the judges and the sheriff in a coordination meeting trying to determine accessibility. The cost is to relocate the intercom and gate reader from the Sallyport man door to the gate instead. This required a new housing and some electrical and data modifications. And this was also discussed during an access control meeting that was held on July 15th, 2024, and also in email communication on July 15th, 2024 to July 16th, 2024. This all included Infinity, TDA, Thorson Baker, and MV5. Last one here, number 7, wall revisions at the security desk. So this is a credit of $2,000. What it was is the wall behind the security desk was originally scheduled to be full glass. But after communicating this information with the sergeant, it was determined that they wanted to have a rifle rack located behind the security desk. And so that it could be somewhat hidden, so you couldn't see it behind that glass wall, we deducted some of the glass and just added in a wall partition, added in a power outlet, because the rifle rack needs to be connected to power 24/7 to be operable. So that's that deduct for $2,000 there.
Well, that one sounds great.
I'll try to get more of those for you.
Yeah.
Working on that. So if you add up all these costs that I have put in here, it comes to about $47,000. So I made the note there at the bottom that the above costs do not include pricing for any of the bonds, overhead and profit, insurance, or fees. But if you add all those in from the change order request, it does come to 50,000. So I tried to break out these prices as best as I could for y'all to be able to review.
I guess I have a question, and that is, how long can we delay in making a decision on this before it starts to negatively impact the project in any way?
Well, the brackets, I mean, they're just gonna be
There's
purchased. Yeah, there's time
Yeah.
for the brackets. I mean, the millwork, they probably, if you're deleting millwork, that's just taking it off their drawing, so that's not a issue. I mean, they're doing shop drawings for millwork, but if we don't do a cabinet, that's easy. They haven't built them yet, put it that way. But now the exterior gate, that's underground work that they haven't done yet, so.
I mean, I think that one possibly needs ADP approval too. Is that number 6?
I believe we're tentatively scheduled for the 18th on that. Is that correct, Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
To bring everything before the ADP board. They've already looked at
April
some
or March?
in March,
Okay.
because they're going to start pulling cable the 24th of March. We have to have a decision.
Okay.
So I'm guessing we're going to pause on this until after the 18th, and then we'll try and have an answer for you after that.
Okay.
Does that sound right to you?
Sure.
Yep.
We can vote on eliminating the glass now. So
That's all I have for discussion today.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, appreciate you coming. Thank you. Yep.
yeah, let's do that now.
Executive session.
Okay, we'll move into public comment.
Howard, South Russell Village, have the commissioner decided what to do to the condition of the airport?
I'm pretty sure that we'll get things back next
When do you
Tuesday.
think it'll be done, Jeff? It's good to see.
Well, I was gonna tell you, but you interrupted me a little bit. Probably next week, we should have the documents back from the prosecutor's office.
Will it be in writing?
Yes,
Well, in both parties.
yes,
And it'll
that's
be-
how it works.
and it'll be presented to us next week on Tuesday.
If everything goes right, yes, that's the plan. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Skip Claypool, Chesapeake, Ohio. I don't know if you need that in the record or not. Carolyn and Ralph, thank you for asking the questions on the camera relative to the construction project. I think that was a very responsible thing to do. Can you tell me who's responsible, or what's the management process for the new courthouse? Who's the watchdog for the county to ensure things don't go out of line, to make proper decisions and so forth? How is that set up?
Yeah, do you want to guess? I mean, I asked that question last week, so.
We
Linda.
are represented, our owner's rep is NV5. Jared Parker's here to talk. He's there regularly. Obviously, our architect is watching our interests. Glenn is performing a walkthrough weekly, and I attend the weekly construction meetings.
So there's nobody from the county, right now you've got the Fox watching the hen house. There's
No,
nobody
he works
watching
for
the
us.
cost and making sure the costs stay in line relative to this project. Because it looks to me, and I'm gonna be making a public information request for the original contract and all the changes, because it looks like it's out of control. Like somebody is allowing decisions to be made along the process work. You know, let's just put in a new set of desks and let's go buy a new, pull new wiring through the wall. Doesn't look like anybody's managing the project appropriately. So can you respond to that?
I would say that you're not characterizing the situation correctly, and that I just told you lots of people have their eyes on it all the time. NV5 is our owner's rep. They work for us.
Okay.
They're representing our interests and keeping an eye on everything all the time. I consider our architect to be representing us as well, and they're there all the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Ralph, Mr. Spilleri, I know you used to be against retiree hires, so can you tell me how this situation is different?
Yeah, finding building inspectors is almost impossible. Finding a building commissioner with the background and knowledge that Dan has is like finding a needle in a haystack. So at the end of the day, I feel that I'm very fortunate that Dan wants to, continue in this role because it is so difficult to find.
Any other public comment? Okay, public comment is closed.
With the other one to last. We'll probably switch 29 and 30. So you guys can get started with what you wanted to do.
Then the 30 closed.
We'll start with 30 first.
Yes.
Let me that.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board move into executive session for the purpose of considering the employment of a public employee for the county administrator position pursuant to ORC 121.22G1.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Yes.
I believe Kathy will be assisting you with this.
Okay.
You want to just, I know I will not be participating, so.
No action afterwards, right?
We'll know that.
here. You guys are dedicated.
We're back. No action taken.
Then number 29.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board move an executive session for purposes of considering purchasing property for public purposes. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Yes.
Like this, I'm gonna do this.
Linda? Did the pizza come that I ordered?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you didn't tell me. All right, I
I
hear
wish.
we're at 12:46. Any action?
No action taken.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, favor.
All right.